YouTube, how's it going? It's time to introduce something completely different to the channel, and at this point, I am obsessed. My boy, let me tell you, I was really trying to, introduce this game at the very beginning, kind of learn it together, but I got so sucked in that it was just something that I'm just going to throw up on the channel whether you like it or not, because I'm having a good time. However, if you know of the game, if you've played the game, feel free to drop some tips or throw some love about it in the comments. I'm happy to learn all about it. If you haven't played the game and you don't know about the game, stick around, lock in, put it on while you poop, make your coffee, or eat your breakfast, and have a good time. Let's get into it. So, the name of the game is Deadzone Rogue. Think of it as like any other roguelike shooter or roguelike game that you have played. However, from like an FPS aspect, the easiest way I can think about it is think like original Doom, except they remove all the gore, right? And think maybe Helldivers gone roguelike. I don't know. Compare it how you want to compare it. You will see it in this video right here exactly how it's about to go down. First things first, and most importantly, when you boot up Deadzone Rogue, the very first thing you will do, look to your left, you will touch this plant.
If you know something, Planty, tell me. Worth a shot.
We never disrespect the plant here. Never, all right? Planty is our best friend. Planty is love. Planty is life. All right, so we're going to come over to the missions table. As you can see, I have already played 2 of the missions on normal because I had a good time. My first run was about an hour, almost over an hour long. Pretty domestic. Second one was a little bit shorter. This was like 30 levels. This one was like 10 levels. Obviously, what happens is you boot up. You have to clear all of it in one go. You have pauses every now and then where you could set checkpoints and all that other like good stuff. That way, if you need to take a break, you hit the checkpoint, close out, saves the game, you can come back. But if you die, you start over. You have to do it all over again, spend some upgrades, spend some points and get upgrades. From the upgrade window over here, if you die, right, you have your defense, your damage, your utility. I haven't made it far enough to understand superior items yet. However, as you go, you will get these things for like health, shields, and all this other good stuff. However, I will go into that at another time in another video, because right now I just want to show you the game, because this is crazy, let me tell you. So normal mode, I've been playing through normal mode. Once I get a warm and fuzzy of everything I can face, I will run back through everything on hard mode. That's when everything will come to stream. That's when I will bring everything over to Twitch, and we will run through everything on hard mode, and then aim for speed runs as we start to min-max the game way later on. But we still have to get to expert, and we still have to get to nightmare. All right, so mission number 3, the name of the game is long range. So mission number 1, you kind of just going through all the levels. Mission level 2 was CQB. We're talking like shotguns and knives only was the type of game. This time we are doing long range shenanigans only. And my boy, when I tell you, this game came out in August of 2025. And sorry, I didn't do a mic check. There we go. Came out in August of 2025. Looking around, it looks like it has some pretty good... Hello? Did I not click? There we go. It looks like it still has quite a bit of player base. It doesn't even matter. You can play by yourself. There's cards and perks and everything that you'll see as I go through that you can't see here, but it's in like this bottom next to my health. You'll see the flashlight option down there, and you'll see some faint circles, maybe, or you won't be able to see it, and that's okay. But that's where your perks will go, and you kind of have to work out the builds. Once again, once I get comfortable with the game, I will talk about that stuff later. However, let's get into it. You step in, you get invisibility. The first thing, if you are tactically equipped in the brain in any way, shape, or form, that one goes out to my veterans. This is your opportunity to scan your environment. This is the opportunity to understand what you're looking at. Right? The first thing, all right, that you will notice is that depending on where you kill them from, you don't always alert the other side of the room. Right? Do a shank here. See that? Didn't get alerted. Now, obviously, if I turn the chroma, you'll see. All right, you're always going to kind of start with a small pistol or something small, depending on the mission, right? So with the melee one that I was doing previously, it was shotguns, and it was all melee characters. This time, it's long range, so there are no melee characters, as it says in the description, in this run, and that's fine. However, I believe that the kunai and the shotgun loadout is absolutely demented. I believe that running fire or some sort is pretty solid, but I'm still learning, and we'll figure it out. Okay, so this one does lightning. This does shatter on hit. Not entirely the two, but I like the lightning just to slowly work the AoE. This is a shotgun. Wait a minute. Did I do the right one? Can I check what run I'm on? Pinpoint. Okay. Interesting. I thought the point of this one was to be a little bit more like sniper. Oh, maybe it is snipers and shotguns. All right. So same thing, rinse and repeat, right? Scan the area, take a look. Normally, if you can, I like to go for bulk. So like I'll put a grenade on like a couple people and then I'll turn the corner. This could be pretty hectic. Let's see what we can do here. All right. Dash has got a 1 second cooldown. Right, in the earlier stages, it's pretty easy to wipe them for the most part. Just close the gap. Oh, gives a little bit thicker. All right, they drop health ores from time to time, but it's not guaranteed. And every now and then, you get these bad boys here. Okay, this is our first. All right, bet. Oh, that means there's still somebody here who just hasn't caught on. All right, and you will get a perk or some sort of love at the end. I'm good to go there. All right, make sure you always pick up all the goodies that drop on the ground. These are the type of things you want. That's your health orbs and all that other good stuff. You don't want to leave those. And then you want to go ahead and pick up your scraps that are over here. And of course, always keep your eye out for upgraded equipment. That type of stuff lands on the ground. And you're going to want to pick that stuff up because you don't want to be underpowered when you go through it. All right, so you will see augment orbs. You'll see a couple of different other type of orbs. I'm still new. So we are still kind of learning in that instance. However, your first instance, you'll normally get these, and it's always in this set category. You have your weak point augment, you have your elemental augment, you have your crit augment, and this plays into a bigger picture. This determines how the rest of your build goes. Right, so weak point, you hit weak point damage, you get better damage. Elemental damage obviously is based on if you're running elemental weaponry or some things of the sort, right? So if you think you're gonna play like zap AoE damage, if you're gonna play fire AoE damage, if you're gonna play void damage of the sorts, and then I saw shatter, but I don't think that counts as an element. And then they have some things that proc. And I'm assuming that's like, you know, burn damage from fire, and arcing from the lightning, but maybe not specifically the lightning, because you'll see lightning and then you'll see another reference to that type of arc damage for the most part. I normally bounce between weak point or crit unless I know I'm gonna play the long con game here, especially when you go for like the bots, because then you rack up your elemental damage and then we're good there. But I haven't really rolled. I haven't rolled with this one yet. I kind of roll with this augment here. However, I'm contemplating on using this one here, recoil and damage fall off, meter of distance, 5% choice, 5%. All right, I'm just gonna roll with weak point damage, just because this one's a little bit more long range. So I think we should be quote unquote aiming for like those hot spots anyway. Okay, so we have that big turret back over there. That one's just got a little bit more heat seeking, and then we got right because there would be no melee foes. All right, well, oh, he's got a pretty good range. So this is normal, pretty low threat, right? If you've played any FPS games, you could probably get through normal. Oh, that's right, I forgot he moves. He's a real problem. There we go, problem solved. One down here still. That was horrendous. We don't got to talk about it. All right, brick cleared. Why bots need a brick? Who knows? Pick up the scrap, 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 pick up the scrap. Oh, we grabbed the scrap. Place for your upgrade later. And you don't always have to upgrade. Alright, item orb. This would be like one of your fancy little perks here. So, leaves range 20% movement speed, and dodge chance 50% scrap, 1+ grenade charge. I don't really like any of these, and you can't really skip them. 20% dodge, 50% scrap job. I'm gonna go with the extra scrap just to prioritize the upgrades.
Okay, just
these
moving,
are these little
moving
healing zones here, right? This is the one time where you kind of get your health back unless they drop a heal. Or the fabricator is your upgrader piece. Muy importante. You have the opportunity to obviously buy stuff to upgrade stuff, or you can literally just come over here and upgrade it yourself. All right, depending on how far you get along or the type of weapon that you have, and it will tell you when you look over here, and even when you pick up the weapon and you find it out in the open, it'll tell you how many upgrade quality charges, how many upgrade level charges, and I think how many reroll affixes it has. Don't quote me on that. What is it? Oh, yeah. Even up here, fabricator, max quality, oh, this is, okay, for the fabricator itself. I never actually noticed that. All right, so that means technically everything here can go all the way up to level 3. However, I'm just going to kind of keep going because at the lower end of everything, it doesn't really matter. We're into 3 sections, as you can see in the top right above the map, just above my camera there. Section 3 of 26 minutes. Right, I'm sure as you go later down in the game, the speed running becomes a little bit more legit. All right, it doesn't look like we're getting any real bins or tubs or anything of the sorts in here, so that's not too bad. All right, let's see what we can do here. Ooh, crazy. Grab that up. Grab that nade. Hey, boo. Where'd you go, friend? Got him. Not too worried about the equipment. Most of the equipment is just like increased defense, defensive stats. So, you see a better one, grab it. Once you start getting a little bit farther along, and you start seeing like different types of blues or purples and things of the sort, maybe check to see. Some of them have life steal. That type of stuff seems to be pretty important. All right, primary. This is max size to 5. This is max to hit, but it hits 108. That's 19. And there it is. Chain lightning versus lightning bolt. There it is. And that's normally what I look for. All right, so this is a perk orb. All right, perk orbs obviously add to this bigger thing down here at the bottom, those little circles that I was telling you about. And then you expand upon these. Right, so you have Vitalizer, and then you'll have one for armor. If you grab those, you don't get the other. Kind of the same thing here, and then you could build off one of these. I don't currently have fire damage, so I'll play the health one, and then I'll come back for the fire if the fire is still there. Oh, this is not a shotgun. This is interesting. Sure isn't. Alright. Let's see, take this from the back of the room. Is what I'm thinking. Kind of a dangerous game, but maybe we can make this work. Yep, sure we can. Alright, so this has got void on it. Peekaboo horse, good try. Sit down, meaty. Sit down, meaty. Done. Dose moss. Ouch. Good round. Yeah, once I sweep all the normals, I'm going to sweep all the way back for zone 1 until hard, and then that's how I kind of plan to do that. Alright, 20% fire rate, 27% grenade, elemental debuff skill damage over time. I always think that's a pretty fair play. Alright, that's a stationary turn. This is the centerpiece. We got that there. Kind of looks like everybody's in front, so I'm going to kind of play the bottom here and then work my way upward. Keep these turns and catch and start here if I can. Perfect. Alright. Now we see what we can do with the rest from where. Alright. See, and that's that chain arc and process. The earlier stages are pretty fun because you really don't have to do much of anything, honestly. Like I said, if you can shoot a weapon and you know how to move like 2 seconds out the way, you really don't have to do much. It kind of takes care of itself. Really. These guys can be a little bit problematic, but that exaggerated. Their bounce back is absolutely demented. If you catch them before. Okay. Perfect. On we go. And upsy daisy. Here's the bot companion. I always find myself kind of taking that. That's pretty good, especially if you find yourself in big swarms, because they prioritize that one there first. We have 776. Let's see what we got in here. This is a minigun. I haven't found a build for that where that's very ideal. That's a pistol secondary, but I kind of like the thing I got there. I like the Kuna I got there, and I'm going to just hit max all from there. We're going to keep going. 10 minutes. We're at about 5 minutes along, give or take. Finally, we have something I can do. So you can pick these up. You can't set these here. I'll kind of put that like right there, and then see if I can like. All right, let me get out from the open. Big boo. Look at that. Hopefully that's so crazy. There we go. Gotta watch my butt. Then we'll come back for equipment on the back half, just so I know what I'm working with, but it looks like we got some upgraded stuff there. Turrets are probably the worst one, honestly. Okay, something is still floating around here. Oh, peekaboo. Alright, that's everything. That's boots. There was a gun back over here. Make sure we don't forget the gun. Nope, just gloves. Alright. Nope, there it was. There was a gun. What is this? Primary. This one has freeze damage. Okay. I might just have to roll the fixes on that one. Melee kills, reload your weapon. Plus 2,000 armor. Elemental debuff buffs are now 100% more powerful. Melee kills, reload your weapon could literally come in handy. So next time we have a little break area, I'll probably see if I could re-roll the fix into a flame elemental of the swords and then kind of roll that way. I'll probably just maybe start with the turn. Actually, I'll probably just take this guy and then whoop, get out the way of the turn. Oop. Didn't launch far enough. Back up. Bag it up. Bag it up. Forgot it's a shotgun. Gotta be a hair closer. Peekaboo. There is. This has got void damage on it. That might be something to note. There we go. Oh, God. This thing is pretty bulky for even being lower. Is this a thicker one? It's a little bit more of like a standard. Let's see what kind of grenade we're working with here. Ooh, all these grenades. I mean, yeah, I guess that kind of works out, doesn't it? Anyway. Okay, I mean, that should allow us to be somewhat more mobile, right? Alright, now we got a... What is this? Another perk? Grenade damage, lightning damage, void. Alright. If anything, we'll try to build upon the lightning then. Even though my pistol over here was void. Alright, these big fancy orbs are armor. You want to try to take those out because obviously everything in it is protected. And these guys are real problematic because they'll try to slam that in front of you. So I'm going to just start here. Kind of take care of that. Ooh, gotta move out the way from there. I like that the aim is kind of slow. I'm sure in the higher difficulties that stuff becomes a lot more problematic. But for now, it's all about kind of learning, understanding position, because you see they're playing in this a lot. Where's Big Man at? Because I'm sure he's here chilling. Probably in a nutshell for you. That's our impact grenade there. Max shields, max health. That's our play there. We're cruising. We're cruising. We're cruising. All right, an item orb. Let's see. Magazine capacity. All right, 40 more time, and then 30% damage to your next hit. What resistance to your next hit after 3 seconds of being full shields? Okay. Minimum +1. I've never ran that. I'm curious. Like, does that? Oh, okay, yeah. It did kind of bump it up, didn't it? And then we'll see if we can roll this fix over to lightning. Or is there a lightning one in here? We do have this sniper that's in here for 630. Nope, this one does have an affix reload, but this is the top of its quality, which is unfortunate. And this would be the top of this one's quality here. And I'm still missing these two. I don't know if that's intentional. Alright, cool. We got lightning out of that. Can we roll and get lightning out of that? Nope, we got freeze back. Alright, that's right. Alright. And then I like to take my melee with me. Alright, we'll run that. Right? And I'm talking, like, this is just me in the process of learning, right? Nothing that I'm doing is, like, meta, no build here is primal. I'm literally just kind of going through the motions. And on normal, like, it's really not that serious, especially on normal. I'm going to just start back here. I probably could put a little bit more thought into this, but I really hate these things. Try to make them as, like, minimal as a problem as I can. Oh, I ended up rolling it in. What? Kyro. Interesting. Definitely thought I was going to be able to freeze that. This way. Swap it this way. Come on. Okay. Behind. Oh, these guys are beefy. There we go. Peekaboo. Oh, didn't get the lunch. That was embarrassing. And grab the scrap. Okay, so this is our next perk upgrade. Okay, 50% lightning damage, 20% crit, 50% max health when at full health. Alright. Keep it. Honestly, I might just be better off. Let's see. Let's set this bad boy here. And that takes care of that. Good to go. Peekaboo. Out that ass. Alright. Good to go. PP, I forgot. Item.
Let's take a look.
We grab this one? Okay. What's this item back over here? It's just a grenade. We got that taken care of. 20% chagger, 20% damage while airborne, holding the jump button while slows your descent. 25% damage to elite enemies, just in case we end up running into that, because we're at 11 out of 20, so I like to think we should have one. Yep, here's our one. Alright. That's why I like chain lightning or things of that sort. Just fits my play style. Right. Play a lot of cover. Peekaboo, I didn't see you there. These guys, honestly, I do this to them a lot. Like immediately, like if I have free stuff, they freeze real easy. It's honestly like mildly hilarious. Chain lightning, that works out. Boots, that's a W. And a whole lot of scrappy goodness. Yeah, I can definitely tell this is one of those games where it's not for everybody. Heal orbs are collected on drop, and collecting increases weapon damage. When falling below 30% health, gain a shield equal to 25% of your maximum health. Okay, 0.5 damage for every 1% of missing health. I like that. Right. So you probably could switch it. Switch up your play a little bit here. What is this? Secondary. This is mag size is 2. That's supposed to be a shotgun. It is. It looks like a two pump shotgun. Oh, and this one gives me the ability to break up the quality, so I can do max all here to take them all up quality, and I can actually max all there and be good to go. Max all armor level. Yeah, that would be right. That'll buff. All right, let's keep going. 12 out of 20. And 19 minutes. It feels like we're making for a good time for a normal run, but maybe I could be playing a bit more aggressively here. Using whatever cover I got. Try not to be too cocky here. Some of them are rather sneaky individuals. Checking the map frequently for shenanigans. Oop, missed that. Oh, these things are in play now. Of those. They seem to be able to take that just a little bit better. Yep, make sure we move out the way from him. Let's just look around. Okay. I was curious that it wasn't for a second. That should handle that. Alright, this shotgun's a little bit interesting. I'm surprised we haven't gotten more like bolt action. like way stronger like weaponry. Is that for primary? Oh right, it was secondary. That had a drum mag. That had siphon on it. 20-minute elemental. I mean that's a positive grab.
Interesting.
Oh, look at that! Finally some body armor after all this time. Okay, 40 spread. 40% melee damage for 3 seconds after damage. 25% reload speed. 25% damage for 3 seconds after reloading. Yeah, I can work with that. Normally I go with the reduced hip fire spread. Okay, we got big man right there. We got these guys all down here. Let's see, what are the chances they all group up? Keep going, boys. 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 Woo! Gotta watch out for these out there now. Peekaboo, peekaboo, peekaboo. Using the environment, that's all. Grenade, chain, lightning, proc chance. Alright, cool. Forgot these guys. A little bit more bursty. I need like a reload speed mechanic or buff there. That would be ultimately ideal. Alright, so this is a bot. Let's see, he receives all of our elements. We get +1. He gets health, damage. I like the one where they kind of spawn faster, but them being able to have our elemental bonuses is low-key kind of top tier. Alright, I'm probably going to focus on getting rid of that one first. And or just playing out the way here, but this is going to be somewhat of a dangerous call because we're talking like head of the pack. Oh, crazy call, crazy call, crazy call, crazy call, crazy call. Peekaboo. Good to go, good to go, good to go. Good recovery, good recovery, good recovery. Good there, we'll regen. Gotta watch out because I'm in that open pit. Maybe we got an increase there. Whew. That was a dangerous game. Any of them drop health orbs? Nope. No worries. No worries. I don't really like this shotgun, I'm not gonna lie. Definitely swap that out. 2 exploding grenades. Grenade kills replenish 30% ammo. There we go. Reload adapter. That might bring some love to this shotgun a little bit. Yeah, it shoots kind of slow. Do we have a primary? Legendary second weapon. Primary weapon has got Cairo on it. I probably should upgrade the 2, but I kind of want to step out from the shotgun. Step over that way. I guess I do have enough for both. I can run both. And then re-roll the affix here. Hey, talk about getting lucky. Alright, let's party. Yeah, now this is my type of weapon. Now, what wouldn't work technically is the mixture elemental debuff we can often find ourselves getting. This seems more like a perfect prime time to do that. Okay, so maybe this was just like a long-range Gambit for the most part. Oh, really? Alright, let's see. Is it really that much different? It's kind of aggressive for real. Hold on. Oh, that's right. I forgot he's got a little bit of a push there. Okay, I can get behind that. Drop anything crazy? Nope, there is another purple back. Oh no, that's my weapon, isn't it? Yeah, 20% rouse hits a reload, increased damage while hip firing. Okay, good to know. Wait, what was the other ones? I didn't look at all the stats. Bullet refunds, 40% bullet spread. Okay. That's cool. Unfortunately, this is here. 10% lightning damage, critical hits on shock target enemies amid a staggered pulse, steering 20 damage. Alright. Health to fire rate, health damage 50 respawn. Alright, let's give them some love. We're at 16 out of 20. Let's keep cooking, keep cooking, keep cooking, keep cooking, keep cooking, keep cooking. This might be our safest bet here. Let's see if we can kind of get them all to like post up like right here. Looks like they're gonna just kind of sit there. Well, if they're all just gonna sit here, I can fix that. Yeah, never type damage. Really all about strategy. It's so it seems. I'm curious to see how this works out in the higher tier difficulties. I feel like normal really just here is really just about as casual as I could probably get for it. Gotta remember that it's the hip fire for this particular weapon does bonus damage, so that's what I'm gonna focus on significantly better. Alright, yep, upgraded equipment. Make sure we grab all of our scrappy wappykins. And I think we're pretty golden. Go ahead and top this bad boy off. 40% grenade damage, 5% reload speed per kill, resetting after reloading. Okay, 50% health from Ori. Let's take the grenade damage. Just because I'm big on grenades. Let's see. Actually, if we can get these guys to open up with this, that'll be a dub on my part. I'm gonna take care of this guy down here. Check left. See what the secondary is all about. Since I was gonna say that's where all of our stuff is. Regen shields, you do not regen health. That's always an immaculate thought to have. Look at that. Talk about it. That was a Rainbow Six level angle right there, my boys. You're welcome. Demented, ain't it? There is. Alright, and then I guess how about when we have strong groups? Like right. Those seemed like, I wouldn't say resistant, but they seem to like hold on to that value way better. Or like stand up a lot better to that. Alright, conductive, 50% lightning damage, 25% chance to proc chain lightning and lightning bolt. 20% lightning damage, shock now increases. Let's go with conductive, and then eventually we'll see about, what are we at, 819? Ooh. Alright, this is where things get a little bit more demented. Maybe play an angle. I think I'll start with these guys, just because they're so honestly. Kind of keep moving around, Peekaboo. He might be able to shoot through that for real. Do what we can here. We check our back. It looks like our safe spot's kind of down over here. See, they can apply the elemental damage for me, so they can go ahead and proc the lightning, even if I'm armor. All right, there we go. Got a better grenade. What is it? A fire? Chain lightning? Nope, I'll take the max hit on that one. I see all that scrap over there. I know. I'm sorry. 25% damage to nearby enemies. Yep, 50% damage to your next shot. Nearby enemies. Looks like we're gonna go into the last stint.
Got this.
So this one kind of just goes down in waves, and hopefully it's not a fuck ton of that. I'm assuming this is some sort of fucking coup. Hopefully it's just not a never-ending list of them spawning. That's exactly what it's about to be. Oh, unstick myself and make sure I maintain eyeballs. But this is where having the companion helps. I don't know how this stacks up in the later difficulties once again. I like to think that, like, when you're playing solo, a companion, like, just really just for the sake of distracting them, really is not bad. Overall, though, all I'm saying is this is a fairly solid game on Steam right now for 16 bucks. And it is one of those, I think, perfectly mindless games you can get into where you can have a good time. Right, you can make it as hard or as chill as you want, and you can play with friends, right? Kind of like back to those split screen co-op days. Really, this is somehow better? Oh, because it's higher level. Then I miss out now because I can just level up. Actually, it doesn't even matter. That's the end. Haha. That was the end game right here. And then our component cache. This is the stuff that feeds into your upgrades, right? So your shield recharge gets 15. That's stuff you can use to upgrade. I already have a bunch of those. Maximum shield upgrades. I think I'm going to keep going for the damage. And that right there is a big GG's right there. I'm talking a pretty good run. I'll go back. I'll exit.
Ready or not.
You don't really miss too much for doing that. Complete Zone 1 story and 2 Zone 1 specialty missions. Let's go. Nice. And then you get some skins at the end of all the runs. It's pretty cool. Go ahead and equip that on there. I think all of these have some of their skins. And there is our stats. Right, so we got through all 20 floors in a total of 31 minutes. That's 224 kills, over 300,000 damage. And I only hit weak points about 10% of the time. Who would have thought? And then you come back, everything is stripped, your guy is naturally foggy, and you make sure you say hello to Plenty on your way in. My man's got to lay off the pot brownies. He's stripping every time. Alright, and then it just does that, and it'll tell you got your upgrades, obviously. It's going to tell you that off of every run. And then you can come through here and play with your upgrades. This is kind of your currency for that. And then you got your, how many, right? 5 out of 1, right? 3, so 4 out of 3. So, you know, I'll have 1 left. Requires 3 for the upgrades.
Guess
I can
I'm
go
not
through
done
that
yet.
for another time. And plant
Gotta get you some water on my next run.
bags. However, that was Deadzone. That was Deadzone Rogue. It's just something I've been playing on my off time, something I have a great time playing with, and I figured at this point I really want to bring something like this to the stream and to the channel, just for the fact that it's like a good mental break for myself, honestly. It's really more for me than it is for you guys, just because this type of game is like really low tempo, and then as we kind of work our way into it, really, it's really like us versus ourselves. When I'm playing the competitive stuff, it got very overwhelming, so I kind of had to sit down with myself, and I was like, okay, I got to swap over to something else. However, if you made it this far in the video, go ahead, smack that thumbs up or that thumbs down. Doesn't bother me none. If you hate it, you hate it. If you love it, you love it. However, thank you for coming around. Consider subscribing to the channel. It's free. We love free. Be humble. Take care.